interesting news stories tonight. We've got some very interesting ones. My mother's just popped off, but she's coming back, and then she'll be back to read the comments and stuff. I hope everybody is well. Now, shall we get started, shall we? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That'll probably help, won't it, to get started? I'm on the right page. Got a lot of paperwork tonight. A lot of paperwork indeed. As you can see, we're inside the Austin. I don't know exactly when it'll go dark. So if it goes dark, then we'll just have to reassess the situation. But at the moment, we're fine. So I'll probably manage. But, you know, it's dust time. Just let it get in because I have to hold the camera. Because of the wheel. I had to move the wheel, you know, because I am
sorry.
Because it wasn't like right, so I had to move the wheel.
You're very brave.
I did very,
Well done, you.
I know. Now, the Grand National was yesterday. Oh, there's a ginger cat again. Where's Zach to beat up the other cat?
That's a tomcat. Look, it's spraying on those things.
Well, so there's just a cat. You know, it happens. There's other cats inside the area, and Zach, the cat started coming into the area, and Zach went to, you know, do his cat stuff of, you know, telling him off. And he was the most pathetic cat ever, was Zach.
He's back. He's, I think he's quite hardy.
He is.
To an old cat.
No, he is. He's very bossy. But this particular time where I witnessed it, he wasn't.
Oh, but everyone has their off days.
Oh, he just sort of swiveled up like a pathetic person who went there.
He's an old man.
And then he just sort of like went, meow, and that was it. And then the cat just walked past. So I had to actually chase the cat. I was like, I'll protect my little baby. So I had to go attack the cat.
I hear him on. So she's admitting you're a cat beater.
No, I just said, look, this is not your area. You've got your own land.
Well, it's changed now, hasn't it? Before you said you attacked it, and now you've had quite a conversation with it. Which one is it? Sorry about that. I'll be calling the RSPCA.
Well, you know, these people when they get, you know, talk to the police, they say one thing and, you know, and then they change it 5 minutes later.
I hear him on a night squealing like mad, and there's a right noise going on, so he definitely protects the area. And that new cat, and that's a young cat, hasn't come near.
Well, that cat we just saw is quite big, isn't it?
Oh, it's a tomcat. It's like it's a big cat. Yeah, he's I think it's feral.
It's quite clean.
No, I still think it's feral.
I always find feral ones look better than ones that are at home.
Because they've got no stress. They're just pottering about in their own life. No,
the feral ones I know always look quite good.
Billy looks well, and he's pretty feral, isn't he?
I don't think he looks well, does he?
Oh, he looks all right. Right. Dave's on.
Hello.
Good evening, Dave. Adrian's on. Well, you're on, Adrian. I don't think you've been on a live for a while, have you? We've been missing you, so welcome you. Alan's on.
Hello, Alan.
Carol's on. He says, I fell to sleep on the patio and my arm's very red. Oh, I am sorry, Carol. Put some sunscreen on. You should have put perhaps a mattress down or something, and then... Anders is on.
Hello.
Tracy's on.
Oh, hello, Tracy.
And Adrian says, sorry I missed your concert last weekend. I was in London.
Oh.
It's on my list to watch this week. It's not a weekly thing, Adrian. Is it? Not doing this week, are we?
No, I think he means by rewatch it.
Ah, right. Apparently it's gone.
Yeah, it's not actually on. It's the internet, you see. If it doesn't upload within that process, it sort of goes off. So sadly, the concert's no longer there. So, but it's fine. We'll do another concert some other time.
The first one is, Adrian.
The first one is, but
I don't know. I think you've watched that as a while ago. Sat Nav Dan's on.
Hello.
Says, how are you?
I'm alright.
Most people return there.
Oh, how are you? Well, they don't actually, because of people, and I've learned this. I learned it, but before I learned it, you know, before I went for the usual life of learning things, before I learned it, I answered back, and people go, "Oh, you're alright." So I go, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Are you?" And then they blank you after that. So I've learned now that no, we don't do the changing backwards. I have so many people that go, "You alright?" and that's it.
I went to the pub with a friend of mine. We delivered his stuff, so you know who I'm talking about, when he moved house. And I remember him, and you do that, don't you? Hello, how are you? And they've absolutely no interest whatsoever. In fact, some people don't even wait for a response, do they?
That's what I mean, that people don't.
And he went in the pub, and he goes, he goes to, is it still on? Yeah. He goes to another friend of mine.
What is he going to do?
He goes, hello, are you all right? And my other friend went, no, he didn't.
I knew it. I don't even know what he said, but I know him too well to know what he did.
He went, I'm not so good. And he went, oh, and he didn't expect that. So and he wasn't interested in the slide. He said, I'm full of course. He goes, oh, we'll keep on me. That's what he said.
Well, I was inside a certain business which I won't name.
Abby's on.
Hello, Abby. I went to a certain business and I was just getting served, and somebody said, you know, it's amazing how many words mean different things in English. And somebody said, "Oh, I've been to a funeral," and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." He goes, "Oh, it wasn't mine." What? You know, that's not, you know, what you say. It's still not very nice.
Yeah, but a lot of people just go to the funerals, don't
Yeah,
they?
I
Just
know.
for the going to the funeral's sake, don't they? I mean, if you were born in Bentham and you died and you wanted burying over in, say, China, how many people would go? You know, it's just like a local thing, isn't it? A lot of people, oh, there's a funeral on. So then when they say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," say, "Oh, I didn't really know him," or "He wasn't close,"
Well,
or something like that.
There's a person that I know who sadly passed away, and I couldn't make it to the funeral. I just could not do it, and it was quite sad the fact that I couldn't. But I know people have turned up to that funeral that didn't know them very well. I know that
People
they would have
do.
done.
People do. I know somebody that just, and they actually said, they're not a friend, but somebody told me, they said they're not a funeral that I couldn't go to because I was in hospital, but she was a close friend. They actually admitted they just went up because they knew it'd be a good buffet. That's what they said, quite openly. The son told me of the mother that died. I went because it was a good buffet. So there you go. Anyway, Dave says, been to Lytham today, and we're talking to a couple who were walking a Maine Coon on a lead, a massive cat. Oh, I'd love a Maine Coon. They're really expensive, aren't they, Dave? Very expensive. But I would love them.
That's probably why it's walking leak. I'll leave it silent.
I think Ruben's got a Maine Coon.
Oh,
Yeah, he has.
yeah.
Our actor's got a Maine Coon. Should get it on the film. And Carl says, "Sat nav Dan, do you ever get lost?"
Leave him to reply.
Trace, I love this one. This is even better. Yeah, but you can often watch a funeral online. What's that? Tracy, you need to get out, love, if you're starting watching people's funerals. Or is that just is it sort of like a website where you can watch a funeral? What are you doing now? Just watching a couple of funerals?
Buffet looked nice. I couldn't be there.
Oh, but Abby says, "I'm going to my granddad's funeral on Friday." Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Abby. Oh. And Satnav Dan says, "Only if I'm not programmed properly." Dave says, "Beautiful cats, but yes, expensive, I guess, and need a lot of grooming." Well, Zach wouldn't, because Zach just grooms constantly.
Good for me, like, you know,
He didn't need any help.
Matting.
Yeah, but Zach doesn't need any help.
Well, he did actually. He came. He had this.
Oh yeah, what did he get on him?
I don't know. He came in.
That's the only one time in his whole life, though.
And I don't know what he had on him, but it was like, I don't know, but it was something, and I couldn't. I just like. I thought, oh, he's gonna lick himself and it'll come off. Anyway, after a long period of time, like I don't know, even a day, it wasn't. I don't know if he wants to move the bin.
Billy, the bin man can't get through. Billy, the neighbour's stuck with the bin, and he's just going to carry on trying to ram it through.
Do you need a hand?
No, he's through.
No, because he got the.
Oh, I'll
Do
move
you need
the
a
car.
hand? Sorry.
I'll move it. Billy, can you?
Billy.
I just got to move the car because Billy's blocked. Oh no, he's moved. Billy's blocked the road with the micro, and the next door neighbour can't get through with his bin. So he's moving his cars about. Naughty Billy. I love Abby. She comments. She says, "Couldn't stand the bloke anyway."
That's quite good. It reminds me of a comment I did once.
I think the neighbour thinks we're laughing at him, but we're not.
No, I think the neighbours and stuff.
It's just Abby's comment. It's just so
well done,
funny.
love.
Well done, Abby. Tracy says, "Came about because of the pandemic."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And Tracy says, "Yes, I watched them, unfortunately." Adrian says, "Your live stream concert for March 29th, it's got 74,000 views." I don't think it can have, Adrian.
Otherwise, I hope I would have noticed.
Your live stream concert for
Unless it's just added, because of that sounds 844. It's about 800. So unless they've accidentally added the 7 and then 4 on.
I don't think it can have 74,844 views. It's not Taylor Swift.
Check.
Is that from the 19th? Oh yeah, brilliant. Well done, Billy.
Where's it gone? No, you've gone past it. Let go. No, it's got 845.
Yeah, so he's 845, not the bit at the beginning though. 845 is good though. It would have been really good if it had, what was it? I've lost the thing now. 74,844. But thank you for watching it afterwards, Adrian. Don't go now. Watch it afterwards, whatever you do. Cal says bin wars. Yeah, he was bringing his paper bin in, and Billy had blocked it with a micron, and he was trying to carry on ramming it through the gap, which was clearly too small to fit in between the house and the micro. So luckily Billy ran over, but he was moving the wagon in. You've got wagon back.
Abby's joke. Can I tell my joke that's quite similar?
Yeah, can we just finish to here? Hooking Bike says, hi Matilda.
Hello.
Adrian, 944 views. The thing with YouTube is...
It's a damn nuisance.
Yeah. Adrian, can you tell me on that video how many views it shows that it has? Is it 944? No, because it's different. That's what I'm trying to say. When we look on it and when other people look on it, it's different. So at the moment, it's telling us that...
You know something that YouTube does, which people probably won't know? YouTube actually takes away views.
They do.
They do. They take away views. I've had videos, I've looked at it one time and I've looked at it again and it's taken away.
When we interviewed Hilliard from Great British Showing Bee, went up to 1,900 views, didn't it? It started off really slowly, about 300, 400. It suddenly went up to 1,900 views, and then it's at 1,500 now. It just lost 400 views.
I had a video, it was on my music account, it had like 150, now it's down to about 80, and I'm like, you weren't there, you were higher, and then you've changed. And I watched you go up.
One I put on said that I posted it 54 years ago.
YouTube was invented about 19 years ago.
And Abby goes, Billy's been very naughty, Abby, we're not talking to him.
Yeah.
He's trying his best to talk to us, but he's been very naughty, so we're blanking him, aren't we? So we had to talk to him then because the wagon was in the way. But you'd have been annoyed with him, Abby, if you knew what he did.
So can I tell my joke?
Yeah, let me just get the rest of them. Louis says, I am a minus person though, so my view counts as negative. Tracy says, yeah, it's there, only one viewing now, but we know different. Yeah, one viewing now, but no different. Abby says, what did he do? Well, I won't go into a long story, Abby.
Just miss out majority of it.
I'll miss the majority out of it because he's my son. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I'd really, elaborate on it and make him look really bad. Yesterday, he promised to do my wagon. I've got a black wagon and it needs MOT in, and he went out instead. He promised, and I had got it. It wasn't just like, you'll do it. I had it booked in, and I booked my day around it.
Now, some people might think that's not too dramatic.
It was
a lot more to the story.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more to
it, which we're just not going to get into.
So he came back last night and he goes, hello, and we went, and glared at him. But anyway, he's got on with it and done it now. So he came to the car just then, and he puts his thumbs up and points to the wagon as if to say, oh, look, I've done it now. But we still glared at him, didn't we?
There's so much more to it.
There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, I know you might think there's nothing, but there's a lot more to it.
That's basically what he did.
But that's not the basics. There's more. I just wanted people might think that's not too much, but if you knew the truth, it is.
It don't really matter what they think anyway. Yeah. But he's been a naughty baby, that's for certain. I think you would have smacked him, Nabby, and told him off. Tracy says naughty Billy. Tracy knows. Because he's so naughty, we still carry on talking to him anyway. So if we stop talking to him, he's been doubly naughty, hasn't he?
So can I tell my?
Yes, you can now.
So you know what joke it is, just in case I shouldn't say it.
Yeah, because now we've done the messages, haven't we?
But yeah, but you know what joke I'm gonna say?
No.
The one where it was on the thing and I messaged and somebody messaged me back.
No, I don't. Which thing? No,
I'm not saying it.
I emailed it to Tracy. Debbie says, slap him. I wasn't far off, Labby, when he told me he was going, believe me. I was fuming with him. Because I had planned my whole day around him doing it, and I got it all sorted. I got him something for his dinner. I was going to make him a lovely dinner, and off he went. Without skipping round the corner.
It's also the
without a care in the world. Anyway, he's done it now, so we sort of like redeemed, but I think we should just be in a mood with him for a little bit longer.
There's more to it. I just want to clarify.
I think Abby thinks that's enough.
It isn't. For starters, it's where it's going to. Then second of all, There's more to it.
I think Abby's annoyed with him as much as we are.
Yeah, good.
So, yeah, so anyway, so that's baby sorted.
Should I do my grand?
Yeah, do that.
Okay. So, the Grand National was Saturday. Yesterday.
Yeah.
It was yesterday. And I moved on.
This was the winner.
This was the winner. And not only was it the winner, but it was my winner. I won the Grand National very, very well. I raced that horse. I was the second female to win. No, I just bet. But
You did all right. We put £1 on it and got £32 back.
So we did very, very well. Now there's a man who is called
Jim Beaumont.
Where is his name gone?
And he's 90 years old and he's been to the Grand National for decades. He's been to that Grand National 80 times since he was 3 years old. He's missed out, obviously, so because that doesn't add up. But he had to miss war,
COVID,
and
somebody
something
wanted a day
else,
off.
and something else. But he'd been, but he says 80 plus, so there might not be. So he's done quite a lot of it, hasn't he?
So he's gone every single time, and this started when his godmother.
Oh, I've got to get a picture of them.
Took him to the Grand National when he was 3, and they laid out, and I think some more times, laid out a picnic for them.
Here he
and
is.
with his 5 siblings, and they would roll down the, the fields and stuff while they're there. And it was obviously a very big event, and he loved it, so he got hooked by it because of I think it's his grandparents used to do loads of, betting, and they would do things like, whatever they're called, greyhounds, pigeons, and horse racing. And once he saw the horse racing, he sort of, got hooked because it's always been inside his life all the time. And he's even actually lost a few jobs because of it.
Oh, gosh.
Because
he is keen.
He was working at a very famous hotel
Called the Adelphi.
And he stopped working and went up to Aintree, for like the day. And he obviously must have got fired or something. And he was also working on a shipping boat.
Yeah.
Where he would stamp. No, I don't know what it is. A shipping company. I wouldn't wonder how he got off the boat so quickly and got back. Shipping company.
No, a shipping company meaning shipping
stuff
out.
Where where he shipped and put stamps on letters. I don't see we got for the Adelphi to a shipping company. It must be opposite around.
Well, I think they said the Adelphi because that's such a famous hotel. I think, oh God, people would love to work there, and he's lost his job there.
Well, it doesn't say what he did.
Well, he's got a job there, though, hasn't he?
And when it came to 12 p.m, he downgraded, put down his stamps, and for the Adelphi.
And his toilet brush, and off he went.
And now he says, I do find this a bit confusing, but it says, I had a horse share, or a very small share, on a horse that came third about 1990s, and that sort of kept him going and in the mood to do it. But I don't really get it. Is that like, was he planning on quitting doing it, and then he suddenly got a bit of a win? But I feel like if he's done it that many times, he should have got more.
What I don't understand is if I had a horse that came third in the national, my memory is absolutely shot at, but I would remember what year it was, especially if I was obsessed with the Grand National.
I don't remember what
if
year
I'd been 80
won.
times. Oh no, but if you've been to the Grand National 80 times,
So
that's
it's
some
different between going and watching and being.
You would know what year your horse came third.
Yeah, but I just feel like if he's been that many times, he's clearly bet a lot. So how come his only win is third?
Oh no, you've misunderstood the story.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say, I've misunderstood it.
He owned part of the horse.
He owned it?
Yes! Oh, you think he's got...
That's what confused me. I was thinking, isn't really that much of an exciting thing to come third?
He's had a bit of bad luck if he's been 80 odd times and only got 1/3.
That's what I mean.
No, he's not been betting.
No.
He owned that horse.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
I did find it a bit confusing when he said part of a share. I was thinking, what, you half bid on it? Bet on it?
Here's my pound.
It's your pound. Sharing it.
No, he owned part of the horse. That's what I'm saying. If you were obsessed with Aintree and you owned a horse that came third, surely you remember what year it was.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Not what year he put a bet on.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it,
Jesus.
you're making a story out of... Oh.
Sorry about this.
So Aintree Racecourse has held the festival since 1839, which is a long time, isn't it? And obviously Red Rum became the most successful horse in the Grand National, having history, having won the steeple race 3 times.
And second
Race 3
twice.
times. Second twice.
Yeah.
Would have do third.
No, I don't think he did third. He might have done, but I suppose 5 times running the national is a lot, isn't it? You know, because he's 5 years older then, isn't he? So if he started off about 8, I think he did, he would then be 13, which is quite an age. There was only one 13-year-old in this year. So that's like the end of the...
So why would
14-year-olds have run, but...
Is it just... So are these like the top elite horses we're dealing with?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, if it's 13's a bit old, then why didn't they just get another horse? Or is there just not that many popular, brilliant horses?
Because people own it, so you might get people fall in love with them, don't they? Like and if a horse is good, like grease paint, that's just one that I remember because that was a bet on years ago. I think that ran about 3 or 4 times. I know it came like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but it's still a hell of an achievement, isn't it? If you've got a horse that's doing in a race as big as that, coming in like within the first 5 regularly, it's quite an achievement. And you'd also think, right, I've got 2nd this year, wouldn't I? So I'm going to go, we can probably win it next year and then get 2nd again or 3rd, but you've still done well, haven't you? I think you've done well to complete that.
Well, yeah, actually, out of the 34 horses that were in it, only 16 completed it. A lot of them got pulled up. I think it was about 3 fell off, fell down. One of them fell because another horse affected it. And then the last one, which is Duffel Coat, got just basically the rider came off and then the horse continued. So only 16 actually finished.
It's not a lot, but there was no like big accidents, was there? No
No.
deaths and everything. So I think it was probably the heat and it was quite it was good ground, so there'll be a lot that couldn't keep up and then just thought, stuff this, there's no point carrying on, I'm not going to get anywhere. So I think they place up to the first 10.
Yeah, and then you get, because like for example 10 you get $5,000 and it just keeps going up.
But it was quite emotional, wasn't it, with the trainer, because his wife died. I think she had terminal cancer, and I think she died very close to him sending it to Willie Mullin to race, and she wanted the horse to go to Willie Mullins to train it, and then obviously it was her horse, and it's won. So yeah, it was
And it only cost.
No, it's the other one. It was the one Hewitt, wasn't it, that I bet on.
Hewitt came 8th, but that one only cost £800, which, yeah.
They'll have got more back than the horse was worth.
Well, if they got 8th,
it'd be worth more now. I think in the national,
they would have got about $15,000, maybe $20,000.
That's a lot, isn't it?
And it won more. Well, I was actually watching it, do another race, and it won that. And he won it by quite a bit. So I don't know what he won for that. So he's obviously won a lot of races, So hence the reason why it's at the Grand National.
So Cal says, my horse is still tiptoeing back to the stables. And Adrian, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very, very
You're
much,
a superstar, Adrian.
Yes,
Thank
you are. Thank you very much for that.
Because you started me off laughing again. Good. And when
Thank you.
you're joining in making us laugh. But thank you so much for that. You're an absolute superstar. Turbo's Tim Wells, my part share was Rhyme and Reason. I bet on Rhyme and Reason. A 1988 winner. Oh, you must be very proud of that, your part share. You must that must be good memories, Turbo Tim. I'd have loved to have a part share.
So how many part shares will there be in a horse sometimes?
Oh, all different.
Is it just basically
some could be like 2, or some could be. How many did you have in Turbo Tim's? How many people did you have in your share?
What happens if they win or get a good mark? Do you get money back or something?
Yeah. So a lot of them obviously don't win. Or make the money back. They might win. I'm not saying about the national, I'm saying about a race. They might never win a race, or they might win a race. So, but if it's like, say there's 40 people in this, they call it syndicate, don't they, when they all have a part of the horse, it could only be something like £30-40 a week that, a lot of people that want to do that can afford it. So they might never get that back, but they've got the enjoyment of it, or they might get the 30-40 quid back, or they might get more. If
they're putting that part share, do they, like, for example, get to go see the horse race?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they'll get all updates on it and everything.
So does the actual person who rides the horse or whatever, do they just not have to pay anything because of they're paying for the horse then?
The jockey gets paid to ride the horse.
Yeah, but who owns the horse?
The syndicate.
Who's the syndicate?
The people that so
Well,
if
somebody must have got the horse, because if you have loads of people
Yeah.
paying this however much for this horse
Mm.
every time, who actually owns a horse?
the syndicate, the people that are in it, Turbo Tim and whoever he was in with.
Yeah, but like, who's in charge of it? Who says?
The trainer.
Mm.
So you'll have a contract, won't you? So you'll say the main decision is by so and so, or we put it in that because there's like 30 of us, the trainer makes the decisions, and they could, I don't know, vote for the jockey, or they will know when they go. The yards have their own jockeys, and you might say, so your horse might be racing, and you get one jockey that say, right, he'll ride it for 150 quid, or that one's £5,000, but he's got a lot more
But
chance
if
of
it
winning.
wins, does everybody just have to split the money between
Yes,
everybody?
and then you get all the training fees out of it, don't you? All the costs, vet bills, and everything. But you've got the enjoyment of going to the races, and like Turbo Tim's put now, hasn't he? He's put, I was part of a very famous horse, so you've got the enjoyment of it, haven't you?
Mm.
And the memories.
It's amazing how much Little Pony costs, isn't it?
Dave says here, you're not allowed to tell the joke, Matilda. Whoa, not good, Dave. I'll probably tell you if we when we next see you.
I did a good joke.
when we next see you, maybe later on. Robbie says, I would love it if you could tell me the joke. It's just a bit, I don't know, maybe. I've emailed it to Tracy. I don't know if she's got it because she's not messaged back, but yeah. It's certainly different. It's very, very, very funny. And the person that she replied to a comment that somebody had commented, and she replied it back, and they found it absolutely hilarious. We messaged it to Billy, and Billy were laughing like mad.
It wasn't on YouTube.
And Carl says, duffel coat's toggle fell off. It didn't do well, did it, Carl? And Rob says, hello, Matilda. Hello, Mum. Just found you on. Hello, Rob.
Hello.
Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry, it's you again.
Yeah.
No way.
No.
Matilda on Matilda River Walden's channel. Funny. Bit of an odd one there. Cara says you're sparkling. Ultra says you look like springtime, Matilda. Chloe says, what car is that?
Guess.
Yeah, I guess we've got to. Cara says we missed the gardening vids. Well, we do stuff, so we will do another one. I've been doing a bit of gardening today, so we'll do one for you. Someone said it's a larder. Dave Barwick, it's one for after the watershed. Yeah, it's not rude.
No,
it's not rude in any way, shape, or form. It's just about somebody who's not a very nice person. I think a lot of people can guess than that. Oh no, Tracy says it was blank. All right, I'll send it again, Trace. Oh no, I sent two, Tracy. It wouldn't go through because of the internet connection, and I saw one's blank.
Internet started looking at it.
Yeah, I just put a load of laughing emojis, so she's going to wonder what that is. No, there's two. If you look at the other one, Tracy, it's definitely there, but I will resend it again. Kerry says, who is the Matilda and who is the Joe? Joe, I don't get that. Rob says, you're in the Princess. No, Rob, wrong one. Lewis says, it'll be the Austin 1100. You're right, Lewis. But he says, could be the Van den Plan. No, it's not. Cara says, the cheek calling Princess a lady. And Tracy says, helicopter is here. And Carl says, definitely Austin.
Oh, you can see Princess.
So, yeah.
Now, let me just go through my paper.
Dave says, I'll email you it later and send it to me. You'll have confidentiality rights on it, though, Dave.
I don't know if
it goes no further.
I don't think we will. Just because I don't think it can go any further. Just in case.
Oh, look at that bird drinking out of there. Jane's thing's leaking. Look. The bird on there.
You want me to like...
Yeah. Look. Jane's thing's leaking, so that bird has flown onto to get the drip out of it. Bless it. Oh. Clever bird, isn't it?
No, he's a bird sometimes.
I quite like them.
Oh, no, I like them. Okay.
Tracy says she's got a good idea. Do tell us it, Tracy. Dave says promise not to pass it on. Well, I'll send it to you, Dave, as long as you promise not to pass it on.
I don't know. We'll just say it next time, maybe.
Rob says that's Princess behind you. Louis says, first car I can remember my dad having was a dark green Austin 1100, so I'm quite fond of them. They're getting quite rare now, I think. We love ours. Started up today. It's just not... because Billy's been very naughty, as people have heard yesterday. He was also supposed to sort this out because it won't tick over, but it started up after winter fine. But he's got to adjust something on the carburettor or something. And if he hadn't been so naughty, he would have had that done, wouldn't he? So, yeah. There you go.
The driver of a Mercedes. Now, what a
He's
character.
been naughty than Billy, if that's possible.
The driver of a Mercedes. He's a 52-year-old from
Boughton.
Boughton.
Anyways, from Cheshire.
I wonder if you like Boughton.
Boughton.
He's from Cheshire, and he's very naughty. Very, very naughty, because not only has he been like drug taking,
Yeah.
but because of his drug taking, he ended up inside a Mercedes car accident, and then because of the Mercedes car accident, he affected a tractor driver, which then the tractor driver affected somebody's house and home.
Two houses.
So this tractor ran into a two houses, which I think are attached or semi-attached. No,
Yeah, I think you need to keep it a bit stiller for them to be able to see. You keep wobbling it about. I'm much better at doing
Are they
that.
attached or semi-attached? I can't see.
I think they're detached. They're a terraced, aren't they? I can't see from here. I think there's a terrace for about 4, isn't there? But what a mess. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine watching your television?
There were no injuries, so they must all
Thank
be
God.
out or just not.
Or in the back room. But what a mess he's made.
I mean, can you imagine that here in a massive bang?
That house isn't actually attached to that one.
No, it isn't.
I
That's
don't know
what
how
mean.
he's managed to get both of them there. But he's if you look, there's a gap in. Show them again. There's a gap
There
in
is a
between
gap
the two.
in between the two of them.
And he's managed to smash right into both of them.
And it's further
How
gone
anybody's
through.
not killed with that?
I mean, his sofa's hanging down there.
Where's his sofa?
Yeah.
Oh, that's his bed. You can see his bed hanging down.
No, that isn't a bed, is it?
Oh, it's
Oh,
one of
might
those
be-
like a chaise longue.
Oh no, I think it is a bed actually. No, it does look a bit like a bed. Remember, like
Show
a
me
child's
his
bed.
bed.
I think it's like a child's bed because it's quite
Oh
small.
my God, if there'd been a child in there, could you imagine?
And then that one's just had. So basically, if you were near your corner, I mean, that one I think is the worst. Is you got your tyre there, and then obviously it took more off there, so it would be more inside the house. It's the worst bit. But somehow nobody was injured. But this was because the Mercedes driver, right? Because he was like, drugged, so he wasn't thinking very straight. And this was on this was at 6:35 a.m. on Tuesday. But the thing is this tractor driver is obviously the person that's crashed. But imagine if they didn't find out that it was Mercedes who made the fault.
Yeah, if they'd have driven off, drugged out the brain. They've obviously tested both of them, haven't they, and realised that he's drugged up. But if he'd have driven off and they'd have killed somebody,
Or even if he didn't kill somebody, still,
car has done the
doesn't it?
can't park there, mate.
But I mean, he could have been in some real trouble. I mean, he won't be inside any trouble, will he now? Because it's Mercedes' fault. Or will he be?
Say that again.
Will the tractor driver be in any trouble?
Well, not if he's had to take evasive action because somebody's drugged out of their mind driving up the thing, and he's. But I don't know how you would turn that way. I don't know how. I wasn't there. They'll have to investigate that, won't they?
Mm.
But not if he's had taken evasive action and lost control of his tractor because somebody's been coming up the road drugged out of their mind in a Mercedes. What was he supposed to do?
I don't know, but he's in some trouble.
Oh, he'd be in some trouble. The other driver will be in some trouble. Dave says, certainly looks a mess. Lewis says, the house is just pulled out in front of me, officer. Cal said, imagine watching the film Duel and then that came through the walls. Andy says, when you get an unexpected visitor, you should offer coffee. You could imagine that, couldn't you? You'd be fairly terrified as a tractor driver because if that house came down on you, you'd be not too well, would you? It's
What
not
do you mean,
good.
like when you crash into it and it's like...
Yeah, you'd be fairly terrified, wouldn't you? Imagine that lot coming down on you.
Well, I don't think like it really... Well, it didn't really show it coming down. I mean, where's the picture? Have you deleted it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Otherwise I get confused.
I don't think there's really anything on top of the tractor.
No, but he doesn't know that when he's flying into it, does he?
The tractor looks... I mean, the tractor has got stone on top of it, but he hasn't collapsed, so he's been all right. But if you look, he's had to drive quite a bit to get to the house because by looks of things, he's gone through that wall there and then he's continued driving. So how come he hasn't stopped in between that process?
Well, because even if he's travelling at 30 miles an hour, it'll take a bit to stop.
But I
And
mean,
there's a lot of weight behind that, isn't
unless
there?
I suppose that, something like there's a child or a person there, then I don't see why he had to drive into the house.
Well, he might have been avoiding something. Like you say, like a child. And you've got a split moment decision, haven't you? You know, if somebody is coming up, he could have been coming up the
Imagine
wrong side of the road or anything.
Imagine if somebody was like, because that's a doorway there. So imagine if somebody was coming out the doorway, and then it opened like, you know.
Well, when they came down Bentham that time and they smashed right back into that car, and the amount of people that they came up the road, and then it goes into a single line traffic, and loads of people park on the left hand side, and there was a car parked right at the end, and it smashed. The noise was unbelievable. We heard it in the flat, and we lived nowhere near the main road, and he drove off, and his father actually grassed him to the police because he drove off and left the scene of an accident. But a lot of people stand there, don't they, waiting to cross the road, and God, if somebody had been stood there and just smashed them straight into the back of the car. They were so lucky that nobody was there. But I never found out what happened to him, but apparently the father rang the police.
It does happen, doesn't it? Sometimes your parents actually ring you for the crime you've done, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So not good.
Right, let's have a look at the news stories. Which one?
I'm doing well. You're trundling through them. Should I do Anders?
Sure.
And I'm not going to be able to pronounce it correctly, Anders. So, in the city of Sodertalje, so I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Sodertalje. Scania trucks are manufactured, but that is not what the city is best known for. And this story has been sent in by Anders, who's a member of the channel. There is a canal through the town where in the past there were more passenger boats than today, when a railway station was built in and people started to travel more. Some women in, however you pronounce it, came up with an idea. They started baking pretzels that they sold to the passengers on the boats and from the platforms of the railway station. As soon as a train stopped, there were women walking back and forth on the platforms and shouting out pretzels for sale. It all became known throughout the country and it began to be called the Pretzel City. So thank you very much for that story, Anders.
Yes. A prepper, which is a person who, according to Oxford English Dictionary, is a person who just basically likes to prep things for a disaster. I mean, there's a few more words, but I mean, that's the basis of it, isn't it? Now, a prepper who keeps around 100 cans of food in his home has wondered why other people don't do it. Because if he's prepared for any, situation, because if these are like, for example, there's not really many cans there, is there?
Well, he says he's got 100.
I mean, we've got more cans than that.
We're a better prepper. We should be doing the story on us. So how many cans does anybody else prep?
Got mac and cheese,
Two questions.
beans, some form of beef soup. Is that in?
Sorry,
what's
just
that?
just going through the tins.
So he shops at Asda.
So does anybody? Two
Right,
questions.
fine.
Does anybody else prep? And so have they got all the stuff if there's a war or anything like that? Or 3 questions. What do you prep? What have you got? And what if you were stuck without anything, but apart from like your food and that, you got that, what's the 2 things you couldn't manage without? So you've got your food and your clothing, your water, your basic things. What's the 2 things
Can
you
they
couldn't
be people?
No, items. What 2 luxury
I've actually
items?
got asked this question before.
So like say chocolate or
I've got some really bad
I'd say Vaseline.
Yeah, but is this one tub of Vaseline?
Yeah, so you've got everything, but you've got a choice of 2 things. What are you doing?
I've got some pain. Yeah, but I'm looking over at you and it's just making it worse.
Well, don't look over
I'm so
at
willing
me.
to look over here.
Just do that then.
It's more comfortable for me.
I just no one will think there's anything wrong with you. Go on, just look.
I'm just not going to look at you for a bit, okay? Is that
Don't
okay?
look at me.
No,
it makes me feel uneasy anyway. Just look out the side and do it side view. So anybody tuning in just sees you looking to the right. So mine is Vaseline, definitely. That's what I think I'm gonna go.
No, stop it. Well, yeah, I've actually got asked this question before, and I think I said, what was my answer? It was a
Well,
group
you must
question.
know what's the most important thing in your
Yeah.
lives.
I think I chose weapon. I don't know if I chose a gun or a knife. because obviously health and, you know, not health
Health
and
and
safety.
safety.
I mean, but, you know, protection. Because if we're having a disaster, I don't know what's going to happen.
You
so I
imagine
need
that
some
disaster,
protection.
and there'll be somebody on YouTube, and you don't look very safe with that knife. You shouldn't be putting videos out with that knife. There's a war on. It's self-protection. You haven't got your goggles on.
I mean, I don't know what I'd do, because the thing is about a gun, obviously, it's a lot more better than a knife. But the thing is, you run out of, you know, whatever you
God,
call
I
it.
always want some Vaseline. That's all.
You get 2 items, so I can get the Vaseline as well.
A Vaseline and a gun now.
Or have I got food? I've got food.
Oh yeah, you've got your food in that.
House.
No, so this is a
Oh,
difficult question.
one of those-
Most people
one
would
of
just be
those
able to
things-
answer.
One of those things where when you snap it and you
Grater?
light a fire
Oh, yeah.
because the lighter would run out. I do
Yeah.
that. So a knife and that, I think. Yeah. No, not a knife. A gun don't run out.
Tracy says you don't have to have a driving licence in Ireland to drive a tractor. Anders says old advertising slogan. Cal says you can drive a tractor on a car licence, but they're a lot bigger. Tracy says, what, the licence? Look at the size of my licence. Sorry.
No, I get it. No, it's funny.
Tracy says it's been a big debate in Ireland at the moment. Rob says, well, you can't park that tractor there. Anders says in Sweden you can drive a tractor on a moped licence. Tracy said no, Neville, tonight. I think this happened last year, didn't it? I think when it gets the warmer, lighter nights, he does his bird watching, I think. Turbo Tim's World. If you're down in Devon, I will show you how to drive a tractor. How do you know we can't drive?
I saw the comment.
Yes!
And I thought, hang on a minute.
cheeky
How do you know
monkey.
I can't drive a tractor?
Just because you're a Grand National winner doesn't
And
mean to say
just
you
because I haven't done a video on something doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I'm a wonderful tractor driver.
Yes.
I've done siloing. I've done mowing. What else have I done in a tractor? I've done quite a lot. Driving. Yeah. I can drive. I bet you. I tell you what, Turbo. If we come down there, I'll do your driving competition in a tractor. I might be showing you, buddy. Abby says she's got 12 tins of baked beans.
Oh, you're quite good there, love.
Cal wants to know if they're all in date, Abby. Anders prep. So what have you got, Anders? Oh, Abby says toilet paper. Tracy says having no electric here was hard. Tracy says I prep but then use it all and do it again. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. Well, it's just you prep things you don't like. Like, for example, I'm not going to eat the tinned ravioli, so it's never going to get eaten. I mean, we only bought that because of Billy, but it doesn't get
And he's
eaten.
been so naughty, we're just going to open it and leave it and just let it rot so he's got no food.
So, you know, we've got food, it's just we doesn't, you know.
Cara says neck pain is brutal. Cal says been to Sandham on the Swedish archipelago Anders. Don't really know what that means, but there you go. Turbos Tim's World. I prep. I live in Devon. It's 4 days before the electric comes back on after a windy week. Oh dear. Oh, Abby, a torch. Good one, Abby. Yeah.
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 And also a way of cooking food, because it's like, no, you know, I'm just saying this general, but you know, like, it's alright stocking your food, but you need to have a way of cooking it, don't you? You know, which obviously will be good as, you know, little gas burners and stuff. And
Nicola
you know,
says matches. Cara says multi-tool. Yeah, good one. Cal says was parked next to Bjorn Borg in a speedboat in 1985. Tracy says same here, Turbo. So what's same here? I'll prep. Electric comes back on after a windy thing. Adrian says great live. Thank you very much for the super thanks,
Yes,
Adrian, and
thank
great
you.
live because you're joining in. Tracy says you have a tractor. I've got a tractor.
I got a tractor.
We've got the blue one, Tracy.
I got a tractor.
It's really rare. It's a
Myself.
Leyland 285. I'm trying to get Billy to do it up, but you know, be easy to. I've done it up myself by the time I got him to do it. Where have we got to? Andy said he did it. I've got that. Abby says, I hope they're all in date. Better check them later. But tin of beans can last about 50 years, Abby, I think. So you don't have to worry about it.
You just got to live a little bit more. 50 years and they'll be fine. If they last up to 50 years, what's the point of putting a sell-by date on it?
Because people get worried, don't they? And they can't.
No, I don't. I know the point of putting a sell-by date on there, but what's the point when they put a sell? If you go to a shop now, it'll probably go out of date in about 2027 or 2028. So what's the point of putting that on?
Because
When
it's like honey, isn't it? You don't honey apparently never goes off. So you'd
Oh, it
need, so you
does.
could have honey. Yeah, but
Those are
it doesn't,
weird.
no, it crystallises, but it still has the same nutritional
No, it's off to
properties.
me.
Like if you left some cheese out, it'd just go off and
Well, if you froze
eventually.
it.
No, not. But if you left it out, it would.
What
Other
have
than
you
the
done?
cat,
Where have you appeared from?
it would eventually just go into dust, wouldn't it? You know, go mouldy and then dry and go. Whereas honey wouldn't, would it? Honey would last.
Wouldn't it, honey?
Tracy can't eat beans. Cara says Aladdin's lamp would be a game changer. And Abby says, I have 15 boxes of cat meat. So the cats are fine. She's prepped for a cat.
That's good. I mean, you can always, you know, eat cat food.
And Tracy says, I usually have 2 of everything.
Oh.
We have beans, ravioli, sweet corn, peas. Well, we've got like some things that we wouldn't eat ourselves, so that we've got it so that we don't eat it. Like Tracy said, you tend to.
I wouldn't eat, but if it had to, I would.
I mean, there's a tin of oxtail soup. I don't know where that's come from.
I think sometimes if I look at,
who would buy oxtail soup?
I don't think I bought it. I think I got it given.
Somebody's come.
Well,
yeah, it comes like what, for Christmas or something.
I get food given a bit. I think people will feel sorry for me. Maybe I'm not with me.
Cal says whiskey gets better with age. Anders says, I've seen Matilda drive an excavator. You certainly have, Anders. Tracy says pasta. Oh, and the man was saying that did the prepping, the urban prepper. He says that you can get packets of food that last 50 years. Yeah,
you know, dried, whether it's called freezer dry. I've seen a lot of people do that. You can do it with candy and you can do it with fruit and stuff. It's a bit like if you got a bag, a cereal box with, you know, when it has like the fruit in it and it's dried. Well, it's like that. You know, it's free. I don't know how it works because it's like freezer dried.
Well, it can't go off if there's no water in it.
That's not what they do. Take out the water in it.
So it takes all the water out of it.
Well, if they freeze dry sweets can't have that much water in them, can they?
Well, I think everything has a certain amount of water in it, doesn't it?
Does your apple have water in it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of food does have water in it.
And what else did a freeze dry?
Even dried stuff. I think even dried stuff has a certain, like, such a minuscule amount of water in it. I don't think you can remove it completely.
What else did I see?
I don't know. I might be wrong.
Tracy
Tracy says tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, Tracy, you don't honestly like oxtail soup, do you?
What's an oxtail soup? I do this often.
Chicken.
I don't know what oxtail means.
Well, it's the tail of an ox.
What's an
oxtail? Oh God.
Yes, an ox like a like a fox.
This doesn't make the home education look very good at all. Ah.
Oh yeah, you can't be putting that inside the soup, can you?
No, you don't put the whole animal in.
But it's going in.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh yeah, it's an ox. I'm sure you pronounce it differently.
What did somebody say?
I'm sure you pronounce it differently because I know what an ox is.
What did somebody once put on one of the comments? Oh, what do they do at the poetry festival? And you put about as bad as that about poetry.
Somebody you put. What do they do? What's the poetry festival about? That's what they worded it. What's the poetry festival about? And
she just put poetry.
And somebody else put black emoji. And I was just like, yeah.
Oh,
idiot.
Jesus.
Oh, and also the person who does all this stocking also stocks up on things like, you know, full suits, you know, for say if there was, I don't think a nuclear would do anything if you had a suit, but things like that, you know, like proper masks where they've got like the big things and stuff, those sort of things, and also the care, you know, for if you had an injury.
PPE. Oh, first aid.
First aid, yeah. And they also PPE.
Anders says, I prep food for 2 weeks, firewood and water. But are you doing that because you live out in the middle of nowhere? I don't know if you do or not. I'm just saying that. Why are you doing that? Is that in case something happens, or are you in a bad weather area? Like if you get snowed in or something like that. And he says, army food lasts a very long time. Tracy says, you all had in our survival pack in the army. Dave says, army ration packs last for years. Adrian says, Adrian likes oxtail soup as well. Oh, I couldn't. Or mushroom. Who could eat mushroom soup? That's another one.
Yeah. Or chicken soup.
Tracy says it's not real though. Rob says I have some sealed packs of food they eat on the space station. Turbo Tim's World, what's Billy done to be so naughty? Just we talked about it before at the beginning, Turbo Tim. He's just been really naughty, hasn't he? Dave says, do you know what ox tongue is, Matilda?
I would presume.
Motorhead's on.
Hello.
And Tracy says, I have to do that too in Ireland. Abby says, I love mushrooms.
Yeah, but she's supposed to love mushrooms.
No, but do you like mushroom soup, Abby?
Different between
Because
mushrooms
I like
soup.
mushrooms, but I can't eat mushroom soup for some reason.
I mean, I've never actually had it, but I've looked at it and not wanted to dare try. And same with chicken soup.
Dare try. It's really scary.
Oh no, I mean, I'm not like people are pathetic and scared of things. I would eat it, but it's just I have other options of food. So I'm not going to eat it.
I once knew somebody who was scared of eBay.
Yeah. And ovens.
Oh no, Abby says I like everything mushroom, and Anders says there's a power outage, so that's why he does that. Adrian says I like mushroom soup as well, and Cara says same. I like peas, but not pea soup. I'm exactly the same, but I like pea and ham soup. I've never had peas and ham soup. I've never had pea soup. Well, I thought it'd be disgusting. I can't actually remember where I had it from, but it was like I was forced onto it. I'd gone somewhere, like a convention or something. That was the only thing there was. I can't remember. I know what it was. It was a domino. Domino twist drive. And Abby will be pleased. Billy went. We went to this domino thing, and Billy went and he won it. He was absolutely brilliant. So all these people that have been going and playing dominoes, I took him. He was only about, God, he must have been about 11. He was just going right. He got around the tables. Never done it before. My friend invited me. I said, I don't want to play dominoes. And Billy says, well, I wouldn't mind playing. He never played dominoes. He went in and he went and he's going, moving on to the next one, moving on to the next table. They're all looking at him. He was only about 3 foot high, and he went all the way around and won. Played it before. They were fuming. The people, they take it really seriously. Anyway, it was pea and ham soup, and I really enjoyed it. Never had that before, but Billy did. Well, he did really well. He won it. Well, we never got invited back again. Cara says, have you tried nettle soup? I haven't, but I've tried nettle tea and I like it. I
think I prefer to eat nettle soup than I would do chicken soup.
Oh, Abby says I can't stand mushy peas. Oh my God, no. I couldn't eat them.
They're not the greatest, but if you put fish and chips and mushy peas in front of me, I could swallow it.
Oh no, not mushy peas, but normal peas exactly. I tell you, I'm not that keen on normal peas, but if I have shepherd's pie, I couldn't have any other vegetable apart from peas with it. You love peas. She absolutely adores peas for some reason, and rice, all mixed up.
From butter on the side. Oh, my cat's out. What's my cat doing?
Peas with shepherd's pie. I wouldn't choose any other veg. Carl says I've never had hot liquid, tea, coffee, or gravy, etc. Tracy says she's good at dominoes. You'll have to give Billy a competition.
Oh, we have a game of dominoes.
Tracy says no mushy peas. Abby says don't like anything mushy or blended like baby food, and then 3 stick emojis just to make sure you know that's pretty disgusting. Tracy says peas from a kid.
Smoothies are nice. Smoothies are really nice.
Anders says what is the best kind of tea in England?
Tea.
Well, I don't drink tea, but a lot of people say Earl Grey, don't they?
Well, like people I know always just say Yorkshire.
I don't drink. Should I say I don't drink like normal? What they say, normal tea, but I like fruit teas. I like fruit tea. So what tea does everybody like? Cara says Anders, it's Yorkshire tea.
I thought people will say Yorkshire.
And Tracy says Yorkshire tea, but Abby says PG tips. And I just like
I once had the monkey.
The flavoured ones, lemon and ginger.
I once had the monkey.
What's happened to the monkey?
I don't know.
Oh,
you never really see it, do you? You don't see it on adverts.
We got him in a box.
Yeah, I had the monkey. Yeah, but I mean, not just where my monkey is. Where's the actual monkey himself? Do you ever see him?
No. Dave says Red Bush, and Adrian says I love coffee.
I feel like there's something there, like a song or something.
She's thinking of a song, Adrian.
No.
But Abby hates coffee, and that's in capital letters. Just
Well, you
to
see,
tell you.
Adrian loves
And
coffee.
Cara says, remember Brook Bond tea? Why is it finished? I don't drink tea, so I don't really know anything. I don't really look at anything that. Adrian says, not a great tea drinker, coffee any day.
I don't drink anything.
No, you just drink water, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's an interesting lot there.
Yep. I'm just trying to. Sorry, if my head's over inside a weird position. Right.
Abby says coffee looks and smells like the devil.
It's not good, is it? It's not good. It's coffee. No, I ain't good at that. No. I my first time trying coffee. I think it was. I had to go get Billy left a cup of coffee inside a shed, and I had to go get it for him. I wouldn't like really go get it for him. I think you asked me to go get the cup. I don't think I would do it for him. And I was walking back with it, and I smelled it. It was cold, and I thought, I could try.
Oh, cold coffee.
Try the
no.
coffee. So I tried it, and I thought, that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Not cold
if I make
coffee.
tiramisu, I make coffee tiramisu. I don't make coffee tiramisu.
I can drink a coffee,
Chocolate tiramisu.
but I couldn't eat a coffee cake.
Nah. Well,
No.
I actually made a cake, and it was a chocolate cake, and it said to put coffee in it. And I thought, well, I'm going to do it because I always wanted to make this cake. And also I thought coffee and chocolate can go well together sometimes. It depends how much it is. So I thought I'll try it anyway. It was absolutely disgusting. And I ended up giving it away, and the person who I gave it away to absolutely loved it.
Andy says we have Earl Grey tea here, but I guess it's a big difference from the one you have in England. And Carl says all your body needs is water. I drink loads of water. Water or herbal
He's a
tea.
bit of food as well.
Cara says, no, don't call coffee, it's hideous. Tracy says, coffee's made me ill. And Abby says, coffee should be banned. It's putrid.
Yeah.
He really doesn't like it.
I tell you what, actually, though, I do have an opinion on tea. I like iced tea.
Oh, no.
Bubble tea.
No, that's naughty. It's got to be warm.
I mean, I think bubble tea probably has more sugar than tea inside.
I bet
of
that's full of absolute crap.
it.
I said when you get them, I just think, oh, I couldn't even
It's been a long
try
time
them.
since I've had one, but I only ever tried the strawberry one. But I've had plummed iced tea, and I tried to make my own tea, and it did turn out nice. But it was I just thought I might as well drink some water. But it was nice. You know, if I was out somewhere and somebody said, "Do you want nice tea?" I'd probably go, "Yeah, sure." But it has to be flavoured. Means fruit or something. It can't just be. Oh no! I don't know if that was an non-alcoholic drink. I don't think it was an iced tea actually.
Maybe Abby says no ice in drinks. Please, in drinks as opposed to tea. Please, like why? Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. And Rob says Little Miss likes iced tea. No, I don't. I wouldn't even think of getting one.
Well, you never had one, so you don't know.
No, but I don't want to get into it because aren't they about £3.95 as well?
I thought that was a thing.
It's like saying, you never had a vape, so you won't know. But it's not something I really want to get into, and start thinking, oh, right, my health's going down and it's costing me a fortune.
Well, if vapes didn't exist, nobody smelled. I mean, if nobody told anybody about vapes, nobody would smoke them. And it's like you don't have to do it. It's just because everybody tells you about it.
Anders says, then I don't think you would like. It's Scan, is it Skane? Roast Matilda. It's black, strong coffee. No, I don't like strong coffee. I can drink coffee. I don't like it strong. And people go on about that fresh roast, don't they? And I don't like it as much as just the instant. I go, how wonderful. I love the smell. There used to be a shop in Skipton when we were younger, and it just sold ground coffee, and you'd drive past it, and the smell was stunning. No, I didn't like the actual coffee. Cara says vapes have hidden dangers. Well, they're finding out a lot more about them, but that's another story. We should do a thing on vapes and all the people that have had problems with them and stuff. They didn't know what was in them, did they? Well, they obviously knew what was in them, but they didn't know the health effects. And now they're getting all that pop lung and that, aren't they? And Abby says fizzy drinks. Why do people like that horrid tingling sensation? I don't like fizzy water. When you go to a restaurant or a cafe and say, I'll just have some water, and then they bring you that fizzy stuff out.
I just don't see why they don't give you say, oh, look, I'm going to bring you some fizzy water. Is that all right? They just bring it.
Tracy says the bells are nearly right. What time is it? Oh, yeah, they are. They've gone the other way now, Tracy. It used to be before.
Yeah, it's because the clock moves, didn't it, for going...
Oh, they'll have had to move it, for
they've had to
putting
do
it forward.
With it.
Tracy says, oh, no, fizzy water. And Cara says, not to mention blowing your pocket off. Why have they exploded? Didn't know that. I haven't seen those stories.
Oh yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's a battery, isn't it?
But we've got people coming around here, namely Billy's friends, and they have those vapes. Some of them smoke, some of them vape. And when you have a cigarette, they have the cigarette and then they put it away and then they'll carry on doing the car or whatever. But the vapor just never stops.
Cigarettes
vaping.
are better than vapes.
They're just constantly like a steam train, just puffing on it.
Mm.
And one of them stopped the other night, didn't they? And then left the vape on our kitchen work surface. Ugh,
But the thing is, even just the simple things, like for example, I don't know. But anyway, should we do the story?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a story on vapes next time.
This one's for you, love.
So, Fraser star Kelsey Grammer has been granted permission to demolish a historic 200-year-old cottage in Somerset, despite opposition from neighbours who have accused him of arrogance and disregard for the building's heritage. It's a lovely cottage. Show them the cottage.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just thought you passed it to me.
You're not doing your job right here.
Well, you got to realise
They want to see
there's
the
not
cottage
much
now.
going on up here, okay? Sooner you realise, the easier my life would be, okay?
Right, you get the iPad, then you turn it round and you
I'm
show
good at
the
physical
viewers.
things, just not mentally.
There's some viewers on the other side of there.
How I had to
Well.
explain that to people before.
Well done, Matilda.
Yeah.
Isn't that a lovely cottage?
And that, there, that's the sea.
Yeah, so it's got a sea view.
See there?
I think they built it the wrong way round, but forget about that.
Yeah, but you think about it, it's like, I feel like they've done it alright because...
Yeah, because there might be the sitting room at the back that you can sit out.
And the thing
watch.
is, if it was the other way round, then you might have to have your car look out to the sea and your car. Which, if you haven't got a classic, it's not very good, is it?
No. But anyway, it's got a sea view, whichever way round it is.
I think it gives them options as well. One day they can be at the sea, and one day they just have to be at the road.
And you don't get all the sand all the salt blowing into your front door.
And also, your car will be all right because the house will block the
But
sea.
that, to be fair, that was built before cars were made.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean how what about it. What about the car and the wheels
Yeah, you're right.
and the horse tack?
Yeah, you're right. I'm always wrong. Sometimes I don't know why I bother speaking.
It makes conversation correcting. Joking, obviously. So that's the house.
So this is how mad councils are and our laws. This is why she's won the story. I hope people that are in the area oppose it and write a letter to councils. If you're in Somerset, please save that cottage.
It's Devon this one.
But this is how mad our laws.
Oh, that's that guy who hauls, by the way. You didn't show that one.
Oh no, I didn't.
Who's better now?
That's the hoarding guy. Look with all his toilet rolls, bless him. And you better show the picture of Kelsey Grammer in case anybody doesn't
He's
know
got a
him.
US flag right behind him. Is he American? He does look American, but I don't know.
Oh, and I forgot the comment as well. Let me read the comment. Sorry, I'm going back to the other one now. Somebody put, so we all know now there is no point prepping. Just go to his house when it all goes off and take his stuff. Oh yeah, put it out there, mate.
Yes,
You can have if there's a war tomorrow, you can have a load of people knocking your door down.
And yeah, and especially if the shops are empty, you know.
Yeah, so don't put too much out there. So yeah, this is how mental our planning laws are and how mental people in
Is that
councils
him?
are. Yeah, that's him.
This is the guy.
I'm going to get this story. You're not going to interrupt me. I'm going to get it out in a minute. That's him. That's Kelsey Grammer. I don't know how many people know him, but he's
Kelsey Grammer.
He's a lead. I don't watch Frasier, but apparently one of the lead roles in Frasier, if not Frasier himself, actually. So he's quite famous. So what he did,
a lot of films.
he failed to secure approval for an extension to the property. So he put in a planning application, as you do, wanting to extend that property. I don't know why he didn't just buy a property that was the right size.
On it. You know when they have like a flat roof and they add on that little bit that sticks up?
Yeah.
They did one of them.
But this is the point of the story. So he's not allowed. So the council says, oh no, you can't have an extension because it's not in keeping with the area and it's not in keeping with the property. But what you can do is knock it down. I mean, there's no prior approval needed to knock that down and build another house, but you're not allowed to put an extension on it.
This is a
200-year-old
home. You're not allowed to put an extension on it, which you probably won't like anyway. But you're not allowed to put an extension on it, but you're allowed to knock it down.
So they wouldn't allow the extension, but actually there were no complaints about it. The locals didn't complain
about the extension.
But the council didn't allow it. So it says the decision has sparked outrage among local residents with 8 complaints. So now they've got 8 complaints when they're going to knock it down. But to get the extension, they never had any complaints. And they lodged a plans against North Somerset Council, and there's nobody wants it to happen. The council plan has recently issued a notice confirming that no prior approval was required, clearing the way for Grammer's proposed demolition. And the neighbours have said, we do not wish to stand in the way of this wonderful historic cottage being modernised and future-proofed, made bigger or suitable for modern living. So they don't care. So the people living there say, yeah, make it bigger if you want, but just don't knock it down. But they're still allowing them to knock it down. So it says, we do object to the previous planning application, despite the enormous scale of the proposed works. They did not object, to it. And it says, the development of any... So then they say that they're going to knock it down, and then there's going to be a massive out-of-place development, and they're obviously worried that the potential impact on the environment, and also it sets a precedent for further development along the very important coastline.
Well, I've seen the coastline from a high above image, and there's not many houses, so basically there's room to build, but it's just, fields, country, but him there building that house is going to be a lot of an eyesore, really.
Yeah, but it just proves how mental we are. There's people that are
living
living
depends
now.
how he's going to build it, but still, no matter even if he builds it really, really nice, why is he knocking down 185 houses?
There's people living now that will never get the opportunity to buy a house. They will never, because taxes have gone up so much and houses are so much, and there's so many people coming into the country and people having second houses, which I don't disagree with. If there should be enough houses for people to have second houses, if they've earned enough money, that little bit I don't agree with. Some people obviously will disagree with it, but they'll never be able to afford a house in their lifetime. Yet the council allowing a perfectly good house just to be obliterated because somebody's got some money. It's disgusting.
But if he's got enough money to knock down a house, why don't you just buy another house?
Well, this is because he's got too much money, hasn't he? So he can just go along there. So just imagine how many local people there are that would absolutely love that house. And I think it's disgusting. It's just not good. I'm getting fizzy drinks, right? And I've read that one. Abby says vapes sick. Carl says it's a very bad habit. I think it's horrible. I really do. I think that people look so silly, and they get these massive ones, don't they? They're like a massive contraption. And sometimes you're going behind a car and you think, oh my God, there's something wrong with that car. And then you realise they're just vaping. So there must be vapes that put out more vape. Because some of them, you just see them out the window, don't you?
Well, I remember before this happened, when vapes were very common, when they weren't common, people that did vape, they weren't like big, meaning as a fact of, they didn't invent them to be small. But they were just like, I don't know, they were just like little sort of, a bit like a steam engine, like loads of little different pipes and stuff. And then, the throwaway ones aren't good because of, obviously, you just like throwing it away and it can't rot down the same as a cigarette can. No. And it's the batteries and stuff, and also where the batteries, it's a bit like electric cars, the batteries stuff there. It's a bit like, what's going on with them?
Yeah, you could turn around, couldn't you, and say that people are trying to... We did that thing on log burners, didn't they? That there'll be people that are vaping that say, oh, look at them with their log burner polluting the environment. But yeah, not only have you got all the crap they're breathing out, you've also got the recycling, haven't you? If they can be recycled. Because you've got all the vapes, haven't you? It's not necessary, is it, really? You didn't need them. When did they come out? About 10, 15 years ago. It'll be about 15 years now, won't it?
Well, the thing is, a lot of my generation just vape,
But it was to stop. They said it was to stop smoking, wasn't it? It's to make money. They're making a fortune out of it, aren't they? But people haven't stopped, have they? They've just started vaping instead, and it's worse, like I said, because they're never off them.
Well, there's somebody who I actually know, who, when basically I found out the vaping, and they're like, oh yeah, I started vaping, I'll probably move on to cigarettes, and then I'll move on to this, and they're listing them out, and I was like, okay, just moving on.
Abby says, I'm so angry. If you have anybody in Somerset is there, will you please put in because there's no point me doing it, or anybody that doesn't live there, because the council aren't going to listen. They're not listening to the residents, are they? So they're not going to listen to us. But anybody that, and we've done our bit, haven't we, trying to expose it now. But anybody that lives in Somerset, if you do, please write to your council or email them or ring them and say how disgusting it is. Or if anybody's on that's got any bigger channels or publications, magazines they do or anything like that, please cover the story. Abby says she's outraged. Tracy says, oh no, that's awful. Adrian says planning laws are mad. They certainly are absolutely mental. We had when my ex used it as a way of getting at me with my domestic violence, and he rang Craven District Council. We had a static caravan next to the horses as a groom's quarters, you know, for just having a brew and stuff like that. And when Matilda was a baby, basically a toddler, and if it was a really cold day, we put a little television in for her and she'd sit there and there was a little log burner. Anyway, my ex kindly reported me to the council, so they came down and they gave me a thing saying I had to remove it. So I rang up this was a lot more before the internet, where you could just Google stuff. The internet had just really started, so it wasn't as easy as Googling. So I rang up a place that dealt with the law and planning. He says you don't need to move it if it's used in conjunction with your business. That static caravan is allowed to stay there. So I wrote this to the council. They wouldn't listen whatsoever. They listened to my idiot ex because he was obviously trying to cause me trouble. So I took it to the next level, and you get an inspector that comes round, and he came round and he was a right snidey, horrible little thing. But he walked in and the bed was still in the static caravan, but what we used it for was storing horse rugs on, can you believe? So horse rugs with muck on. There was no bedding, but there was no, because it was a big static caravan, there was no reason to take the bed out. We didn't think, oh, we'll take it out, because we just threw the horse rugs on. So he walked in, he says, can I go through? And I said, yeah. And he looked at the bed, and it had horse rugs on with horse muck on the bottom, you know, where they're laid on and everything. So this caravan was just used for that. And he goes, oh, it's all right. So I presumed, oh, he's looked at the bed with all horse rugs on. While we were there, one of the grooms walked in with their boots on. You didn't take your boots off and made a brew. You know, there was muck on the floor. It was a proper working caravan. So he looked at the bed with the rugs on, and he just went, oh, it's all right, I've seen enough now. So I just thought, obviously he's seen that this is just basically an SHIT hole for you all to sit in while you have your brews and keep warm, you know, in winter when you have your lunch. He came back and he said it was obvious that they were living there because there was a bed. And that's honestly what this idiot came back. So I refused to move this caravan, absolutely refused it. And after this, it took them about 2 years. It must have cost the council probably about £20,000-30,000 to try and remove this caravan, which is all council taxpayers' money. And in the end, they sent a letter just out of the blue and said, sorry, we've got it wrong. You're allowed to keep your caravan. And I just thought, oh my God, they're just nuts. So that was all that money and all that time and all that effort for a caravan that was allowed to be there, which the initial person that I rang up said, and he sent the letter to Craven District Council. He sent the law and said that it was allowed to be there, and they completely ignored that, and it went through all that for about 2 years.
Sometimes.
So yeah, the planning laws, Adrian, are mad. Dave says probably the neighbours. Dave says are all off condoms too. Cara says Rob would build an electric charging station. Abby's angry. Cara says I gave them up. They were setting off the smoke alarm. Abby says profit. Abby says objection. Adrian says great news. Michael says good evening, Matilda. And Abby says great use of money. Well, it's been a very entertaining night tonight, hasn't it?
Very.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad.
Have you thoroughly enjoyed it? It's going dark. We've been here this long. How long have we been on for?
73 minutes and 16 seconds. 17 seconds. 18 seconds. 19 seconds.
Everybody's been joining in. You've all been absolute stars.
Well done.
Adrian, you've been a double superstar, obviously.
Thank you very, very much. I can't remember. I was just thinking before, did I clap for you? Did we clap for you?
We must have. We're always clapping for Adrian.
I don't know if we did, so here's a double clap just in case.
Abby says great news tonight. Yes, it has, Abby, and you've been great, as always, joining in.
Indeed.
Dave says it's going dark now. It certainly is, Dave. It's still a bit of light, isn't it? It looks a lot darker in here than outside, actually. So thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you very much, and we'll see you all later. So have a wonderful night and a wonderful evening and a wonderful day tomorrow and everything.
Cara says good show. Thank you so much for joining in, Cara. You're a superstar. Tracy says the sun has just gone down here. Abby says good night, Abby. And remember, everybody, get your stories in. Anders did it. Send a story. Matilda12 at live.co.uk. Send in if you've got a really exciting story, and we'll read it out.
And I've made an Easter egg, a very exciting Easter egg, which we haven't advertised, have we yet? And it's stuffed with caramels, literally caramel, you know, the caramel, the runny stuff. I've put fully in it, so any bite you have has caramel in it. Half of the egg is white chocolate, and the other half is blondie chocolate. So you get 2 flavours, and it's very big, and I've done it myself, and it's very exciting. So I'll get it advertised, and it'll be on my Bandcamp, so you can have a look. I did have another Easter egg, which was a Rocky Road Easter egg, which tasted so delicious, made myself, and that one is already sold. But this one is going to be going up. So once I've got the photos done for it, it will be up, and it's all made, and it's wonderful. And also, if you have any Easter egg ideas of what to stuff inside of it as well, what to put inside, if you have any ideas, then we'll give it a go.
So I've just put the link on. And we put this Easter egg on, and it wasn't on for very long, and one of our wonderful members bought it, and it's winging its way over to their home now, isn't it? All lovely gift wrapped and everything.
Yeah.
And we said we're not doing another one due to the fact that it's got a shelf life. So if anybody else wants another one, to pre-order them. But Matilda then decided to go, and you've made one, haven't you?
Well, I had to experiment to know how it would work, so I just sort of made it, and it worked out well. So yeah, there was one made.
So yeah,
I don't really know what I mean, the thing is, it's a bit weird. It's like the things you could make with an Easter egg and stuff it is endless, but then again, it isn't endless, because there's so many things you could do, but it's the ideas of how to what to do.
Yeah, but if anybody wants to order one, so if you go on the link, it'll show you the egg, but it'll say sold out. So if you want one, just message me, like I say, on Matilda12 at live.co.uk, and you can put what you want, whether you want milk, white, dark,
Blondie.
Mixture, and what you want in it.
Yeah, and just think you just think of something, and I can say whether I can do it. I've seen somebody who actually did a I don't know if I'd make it though, just because I mean, if somebody wants it, I'm happy to make it, but I don't personally like a millionaire shortbread. But somebody did stuffed millionaire shortbread. Or my Rocky Road one tasted brilliant, because I used pretzels instead of digestives, and it turned out much more better, especially if you got a bit of salt on the pretzel, you know. You know, like pretzels are.
And they're really, really thick. I mean,
really
the person that's getting it, it's going to last you a long time. Abby says, no coffee, thank you.
Yeah.
Tracy says, put a little gift in the egg like Kinder's. You could always put a donkey. Tracy says, happy you'd have Billy in it. You can have him, Abby. We're sending him over to you. You can have him. Put him in an egg. We'll roll him to you. Abby says, yes, I would. Right. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Indeed, have a wonderful evening. It's going dark now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, at least I suppose light nights are coming. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you all
Good night,
later.
Anders.
Oh, and don't forget, actually, I'll just quickly say, I'm sorry, I've
said good night to everybody.
I know.
Don't say good night again.
I'll just quickly say, don't forget to check out my music account, because I'm posting a lot more on there now, and I don't want you to all miss out on what I'm doing. So go have a look on my music
You're getting
account.
thousands of views.
So Matilda Walden, I'm going to post a short tonight. So it's going to be different to
Bye,
short
Tracy.
Bye bye.
Oh, and make sure you check you've got that joke. Otherwise, message me and I'll send it.
So Matilda, what? It's no reversal.
She didn't even know her own channel.
Matilda Walden Music. The hash does work. Put the hash in if you can't find it. Hash MRW Music Official. Just do that and you'll find it. And yeah, I'm doing
Bye,
videos
Adrian. Good to see you on again, and thank you so much. Abby says driving in my car.
See you all later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.